Hey y'all, and welcome back to the Hot Mess Express. Toot toot! So today we are back for another budgeting video. My Kindle just reconnected to the internet apparently for the first time, so I'm sorry about that dinging. Anyways, so I am a novice budgeter. Recently started this year for the 50 millionth time, and this time it actually stuck, thank goodness. Because it stuck this time, we were able to pay our bills through the pandemic, even when I lost my job as a waitress. So if you have ever worked in a restaurant industry, you probably are a little bit more aware of how easy it is to live day to day, paycheck to paycheck. And that has certainly been the case for my husband and I. We have worked in the restaurant industry the whole time that we've been together, and even beyond that. And it's just really easy to get caught up in the cycle, especially as a waitress, because you earn cash every single day. And I got caught up in that loop for so long, and I always felt like I never had any money, and that just wasn't the truth. The truth was that I was not handling my money correctly. This isn't even the tangent that I wanted to go on today. What I wanted to talk to you about today is how I have returned back to work. Thank goodness, because I love being around people. I hate people, but I love being around people. If you know, you know. So being sentenced to this couch for the past 2 months has not been the best thing for my mental health. So on that note, I am extremely grateful to go back to work. On the downside, it is confusing to go back to that budgeting mindset. It's especially difficult this week because I'm counting for income that has come in from my job while I also still had money coming in from unemployment. Just because the way that unemployment works, you get your benefits for the previous week. So for instance, the first paycheck that we're going over is going to be, the first budget that we're going over is for May 15th to May 21st. So I served that week and I earned income that week, but I also received my unemployment for the week of May 8th through May 14th. So you'll see that, you're going to see my tips, you're going to see Nate's income. We even had a little surprise for my mom, and actually it was not a little surprise, it was a pretty big surprise. She gifted us $500, and it's for some family reasons that I don't feel comfortable talking about, so we're just going to leave it at that. It was a gift of $500, and you'll see that, as well as the savings that we transfer in to pay our bills and blah blah blah. The other thing that I wanted to talk about here real quick is I forgot, so I'll be right back. I found my train of thought. So what I have been talking about over the past couple of months through the budgeting with the pandemic is how one of our goals has been to get ahead by a month. So I'm really hoping that this is our last week-to-week budget that I will be doing with y'all. And if that is true, then what that means is that we hit our goal and we saved enough money this month to live off of next month. And so what I'll be doing is taking the money from this savings account and transferring it to our checking account. So I actually have two different checking account. I have one that holds all of our bill money, and I also have a savings account that holds all of our bill money. It's a little confusing, I know, but it's what's worked best for me and helped me to get this month ahead. And then I have just our regular checking account that all of our stuff comes out of. So like if we go on a date or we order pizza or whatever that is, that comes out of our normal checking account. And that's where like all of our paychecks go into and everything. So this is like our big plate that has to distribute all of the money equally. Then I have like a small plate over here that pays all of our must-pay bills, rent, electricity, phone, internet, all those things. And then I also had this savings account up here that has been feeding that checking account. I hope this is making sense. I feel so dumb. But this checking account, this big savings account, but we've been working to build the savings account to cover both checking accounts. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? Hopefully we're a month ahead. Hopefully this is our last week to do a week by week budget. I do think that even once we get a month ahead, I will probably do bi-weekly budgets, at least bi-weekly budget videos, just because I think that it would be helpful for me to check in with like my grocery budget during the month, and things like that. So we'll just see how it goes. Things are changing around here because I've gone back to work, as I've said many times, and it was a big adjustment to change into this budgeting and get away from the tips and budgeting tips. So it's interesting to me that that's what I've wanted to go back to this entire time. And now that I get to go back to it, I'm frustrated that I have to like relearn how to budget that, right? So bottom line, budgeting is going to have its frustrating times, but it's always going to be worth it. It's always going to end up paying for itself. And that's a literal statement. I used to think that budgeting meant that like you didn't have money, but the truth is that I have never had more money than I have since I started budgeting. So without further ado, let's go over last week's budget and set up this week's budget. Okay, so this week for our income, we have my last week of unemployment for $787. My tips, I earned total $292.67. Part of that got put on a card, part of it was in cash. The card is already transferred to my other card. I have all of it automatically set up. All of that was confusing. You didn't even need to know any of that. I don't know why I said it. Let's continue. Nate earned, where are we? $365.79. This is our savings account that we use to pay our bills with. And so we are using $211.32 of that instead of the $229. And you'll see why in just a minute. Instead of editing this later, let me just do this. Okay, cool. Now our total income, we also, oh, nope, just kidding. My mom also sent us that gift I was talking about, which was $500. And so that gave us an income of $2,156.78. All right. And so our next section is bills. And our car insurance was $68.15, and that's because Allstate is refunding part of our insurance right now. Basically, like everybody is getting a discount with their car insurance because we aren't driving as much as we're used to, etc., etc. So if you aren't getting a discount with your car insurance, contact them and ask for one, because you're probably not driving as much as you're paying for your car insurance to drive. That made no sense. Get your discount or find a new car insurance. Stepping off my soapbox. We always estimate our electricity to be $150. This month it was $143.17. So because both of those were less than what we expected it to, that's why that income ended up being less, because we only needed $211.32 to pay our bills. So whenever you subtract, can we do this? No. So now we're going to subtract, goodness gracious, y'all, I'm sorry. We're getting there. So we are going to subtract that number from our income total, which leaves us with $1,945.46. Oops. If anybody has a recommendation for one of those awesome desk clingy thingies to hold your phone, let me know. Clearly I need it. All right, so our leftover amount is that $1,945.46 from the last box. And we spent $115 on us. I got my 80, Nate got his 80. The boys, we had to get their medicine and they also needed food. So that ended up being $232.42 instead of the $200 I thought it would be. I also went over on our grocery budget by a few dollars, but I think that I managed to grocery shop for 2 weeks again. And if so, that's freaking awesome because that would have been $200 of our monthly budget instead of $100. So 104 out of 200, that would be awesome. Gas, we spent $23.13. The total for that column is $635.32. And then you subtract that from your leftover up here. That leaves us with $658.69. And we'll take that number back up here to the top with us. And it goes here. $658.69. Our date night was $44.05. So that has been in our sinking funds because in my head it's a cash envelope that I contribute to every week, but really that means that it needs to go down here. So starting next week, this will at least go down into this section. But I'm going to keep it here for this week. And then the boys got their $30 to their saving fund. So eventually the medicine money that I spent this week will end up coming from that account. But while we had extra money and I know that we're okay with money, I wanted to go ahead and spend it from our normal fund instead of having to pull from their savings funds or sinking fund. The car ended up getting $520 in savings. Whoop whoop. Home, I did not save this money. I spent it, so we're going to count it, and that was $35.05. Clothes, I ended up spending $17.35, and I don't have an envelope yet or a savings fund, so leaving it at that. Sam's Club got its $25, Gifts got its $20, and Side Hustle did not get money this week. So, I have messed up. So down here, I subtracted the wrong numbers. That actually left us with $1,310.14. So whenever you bring that number, the 1,300, that goes in this slot. And then, here we go. This totals to $651.45. And that leaves us with the $658.69. Haha, I fixed it. That's all that matters, truly. All right. And then $658.69. That's gonna all go into that savings account. I was trying to figure. All right. And that is our zero-based budget for last week. So that actually brings us to, I think we're at like 1,800 out of our 2,800 goal by the end of the month. So I really think that we can hit that goal. And like I said, hopefully the budget that we're about to set up, I'm hoping this is the last weekly budget that we will do together. Fingers crossed, friends. Fingers crossed. I'm chasing goals here. Okay, so we now, because I am not receiving unemployment, we now need to up how much money we are aiming to make every week. So we both need to make $355 every week. That's our new goal. That gives us the $710 to contribute to savings every month to make our minimum living happen. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think that makes sense. All right. So we should have more income, but just in case, we want to go for the lowest, like the lowest possible amount. All right. Do we have any bills due this week? Yes. Hulu and Spotify will come out. Hulu, Spotify. Hulu is something like $11.99 a month. I forgot to write this part down. I'm sorry. I did not do all of my homeworks. $11.99 and $16.19. Just making a mess everywhere. All right, so our Hulu is $11.99. Spotify is $16.19. Ooh. And that is $28.18, which will actually come in from savings. We'll go ahead and write that down as extra since once again I forgot to do that from the top. Now, so I'm not even going to bother doing that. Leftover would be the $710. And if that is the case, then we have the us for $115, me for $40, Nate for $40. The boys don't need anything. I grocery shop for 2 weeks. We shouldn't need gas. There's not really any other weekly spending things that I can think of that we would need this week. And I'm trying to keep it super, super lean this week because I want to contribute as much money as possible to that savings fund, because this is the last pay week towards that savings fund before next month starts and we have to start living off of that. So trying to keep this as bare bones as possible, which is another reason that I tried to grocery shop for 2 weeks last week. Plus I still have my Sam's Club haul for this month to go through, and I have a savings fund for that. So if I do need a grocery shop, I'm just planning on going to Sam's Club. And I really think I have this, y'all. I am so freaking excited and I am so proud of myself. Like, if you had told me that I would be doing this, that this is what my bank account looked like, even just a month or two ago, I would not have believed you. I'm sorry, would not. Nope. All right, so $710 minus that $195 leaves us with, what is going on here? Sorry, that was probably loud. $710 minus $195. All right, that number comes up, and I think that I'm going to skip the sinking funds this week. And debt. I know I really need to start paying debt off, but like I just for my mental sanity, I need to do this, because that was the worst part about this whole pandemic, was whenever things started happening, working in a restaurant, it was slow and people weren't really coming out, and the people that were coming out weren't really tipping. And I mean, that's just serving. You have good and you have bad and all that kind of stuff. But I want to have certainty. I'm done not knowing, and so that's where I need to have my focus, and then I will start paying debt off. That's my goal. That's how I want to do this. That's how I'm going to do this. All right. Stop being so defensive, Sloan. So this is my budget for this week. Hopefully we have more money to throw at that. But yeah, we'll see next week. I hope this was helpful. I hope something in my ramblings helped you. Please remember to comment, like, subscribe, leave me some love. Do you have any financial goals? Tell me down below. I want to celebrate with you. I want to encourage you. Let's do this together. I'm so freaking excited. Only because I just accomplished some major things. All right, bye.